Hey guys, hope you're all doing good today. Today I just wanted to show you a fun little blues lick that I'm obsessed with playing. I find that I use this lick quite a lot when I'm playing, especially live in improvisational situations, but it's a really fun adaptable lick that's quite vocal sounding because it actually uses a wrong note that you bend into a right note. And when you think about the way singers would vocalize phrases, a singer doesn't always hit the exact pitch. There's a lot of pitches between the notes that they're going for. And this is a really interesting thing that you can apply to guitar playing, I think, which gives your playing a real fluid style. Now, this lick is sort of a Stevie Ray Vaughan lick, which I guess he nicked it from Albert King. So here's the lick in full and then I'll break it down. So the lick I'm playing is actually in the C minor pentatonic. Now you can play this in any pentatonic shape. This is in the second shape of the scale. So I'm using these upper notes here for this lick. The lick is centered around just a few notes. So I'm sliding into my first note, which is the 13th fret on the B. And then I'm playing the 11 and the 13 on the E string. Then I do a full step bend. Where the lick gets really interesting is instead of releasing the bend back to the note it came from, I'm actually going to play the note below it, which is actually a wrong note. So it's the 12th fret in this case, and I'm going to bend that up to the pitch of the 13th fret. And then I'm going to go back then to the 11th fret on the E and land on the 13th fret of the B again. I always end this lick by playing the 11 again and the 13, but when I play the 13 I do like a double full step bend, so I'll go. So I'm bending up, releasing, and up again without picking again. The cool thing about this lick is you can put it in different places in the pentatonic framework. Now it's made up of the root note of the scale, the minor third or the flat third, and the fourth interval of the scale. So I could play this in my first shape, so down here. So I could play the lick from this C note here, this D sharp, which is my flat third, and also this F note. The note in the middle is like a flat fourth, which is not in the pentatonic scale, but it creates that nice tension. And it's actually a dissonant note. So if I hit that note over the actual root note, I'm going to get a little bit of a clash because it's actually, well, I suppose in theory it's actually a major third, so it would actually become a major note, which wouldn't sit too well over that minor chord progression. But what I'm doing is I'm playing the major third and bending it back into that fourth that is in the pentatonic. This is a really adaptable lick that you can throw around in loads of different places. So you could play it with slides or hammer-ons as well. It's also quite interesting if you play it very low down. So when you take your first pentatonic shape and you've got the fifth shape before it, so in the case of C minor, that'd be here, I could play it in that lower register. And that's quite nice as a building block for another lick. It's a really fun blues lick that I play that all the time. And it's just so easy to put in and it creates a real vocal sort of sense of phrasing. It's so useful as a starting block for solo, especially if you're playing a blues where you want to put a bit of space. What I tend to do is I'll repeat that lick a lot and change the ending slightly. So I might do something like this. And then my second ending. So it's the same principle, but I'm just chucking 2 different notes on the end. I will usually start with that as a building block if I'm a bit unsure of what I want to do, because sometimes when you improvise, you're sort of in the zone, but your brain just goes, oh wait, I don't have any ideas. So that's a really cool one to start with. I think it's always useful to have like a bank of licks in your head that you could just call upon in an instant where you think, okay, I need something now that's going to get me going. That's a great one to start with. I always lean on these kind of blues licks when I play, because I never actually started out as a blues player. I was always interested in blues guitar playing, but my background as a musician certainly wasn't that. I mean, as the Poison t-shirt will will attest to, I was a big lover of all things 80s when I was growing up. You know, I loved 80s hair metal and just 80s rock in general. You know, I was big on Poison and Def Leppard, and I still am. But my initial introduction to the world of guitar was through my dad showing me things like Eric Clapton and Carlos Santana. And it took me a long time to realize just how important those players were going to be to my future development, because now I pretty much play 95% of the time playing bluesy stuff. So I think I've kind of come full circle with that, which is why these licks are so embedded in me. You know, from a young age I was just always thinking, right, you know, I love the 80s, but I love Eric Clapton as well. So I think I've kind of hit a point in my playing now where I've found my voice, and I think these licks really help me with that. And I hope these licks help you. It's a really fun lick that you can move around into different positions. Anywhere you can find your root, your flat third, and your fourth in your pentatonic scale, you can play this lick. So if you've mapped out your scales as intervals, this is a really fun one to try and move around and see what different variations you get on it. Try and stick that into some of your solos and see if you get as much enjoyment out of it as I do. It's 3 simple notes with a wrong note thrown in for good measure, but it can be really interesting to see where that takes you. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed these licks, so please stick them in your own solos and let me know how you get on. Channel a little bit of that Albert King vibe, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. See you later.